1, 2, 3.
Money, 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 money! Something we all want but can't have. Most of the time when you have the money, you don't know how to handle it properly. Then you end up sad and in debt. One of those people drowning in debt could be one of your close friends, or it could be you someday. Students should be required to take a financial literacy class in high school or college. Today, we'll discuss the need for requiring students to take the financial literacy class, how you can help by advocating the need, the benefits of having students take a financial literacy class, and the next steps to get involved. Consumer debt was approaching $14 trillion for the second quarter of 2019, according to the New York Federal Reserve. The record $13.86 trillion was up $219 billion from the previous quarter and up $1.2 trillion over the previous record high of $12.68 trillion in the third quarter of 2008, according to debt.org. In 2011, there were 1.4 million people who filed for bankruptcy. Many professional athletes blow through all their money after retirement. According to the undefeated.com, the problem with young players today is even though they are making a lot more money, nothing has changed about their attitude and education about money. Oftentimes, players buy luxury items while they are playing professionally, but then when they enter retirement, they continue to live their lives in luxury, even though they can't afford it. According to Sports Illustrated, 78% of NFL players who retired for only 2 years filed for bankruptcy, and after 5 years of retirement, 60% of NBA players suffer the same fate. According to AFT.org, more than 45 million student loan borrowers owe student debt, totaling over $1.4 trillion. Nearly 1 in 4 federal borrowers are in default or struggling to stay current on their loans. When they fall behind on their payments, the consequences are dire. Negative credit reports, wage garnishment, and diminished options to cure defaulted loans. According to NPR.org, the U.S. national debt has reached a record $22 trillion. The Treasury Department has reported that as tax returns fall, the spending by the federal government continues to rise. According to the Congressional Budget Office, despite being in the second longest economic expansion since the post-World War II boom, the U.S. is projected to rack up annual deficits and incur national debt as rates not seen since the 1940s. In the next 10 years, the U.S. annual federal deficits are expected to average $1.2 trillion, which would be 4.4% of the GDP. That's far higher than the 2.9% of GDP that has been the average for the past 50 years. Annual deficits in the national debt rose to new heights under the Obama administration, and the trend has continued to rise under President Trump. It is obvious that debt is a big problem in the United States. Let's discuss what other states in the U.S. are requiring students to take personal finance. According to CNBC.com, only 17 states require students to take a personal finance class in high school or college. This number hasn't budged in the last 4 years. More than half the states still don't require students to take an economics course in college either. The number of states that require economics has stayed still at 16 for the past 4 years. Nan J. Morrison, president and CEO of the Council for Economic Education, said, quote, "The majority of U.S. states are failing our students by declining to offer these fundamental courses, which are critical to their financial stability and security in their life." End quote. Now let's discuss the benefits of requiring personal finance in high school or college. Personally, I think getting something like this implemented in the schools could have a huge impact on people's lives, helping them to understand that their financial actions do have consequences. Requiring high school students to take a personal finance course reduces their likelihood of taking out expensive payday loans down the road. If these classes were to be required in high school or college, 6 topics that they would cover would be how to do a budget, how to balance a checkbook, how to save and invest, and the power of compounding returns, credit cards and debt, loans, mortgages, and real estate insurance. All of these topics are crucial to properly handle money. There are numerous benefits to requiring personal finance. Let's talk about what you can do to help require these classes. The first thing that you can do is to help mandate that personal finance classes are mandatory is talk to your school board, superintendent, and or principal. This way the idea is brought to them and they can start thinking about what they can do to help you. Parents can be super effective in creating change in their schools. You can also ask your parents to advocate for you to your school board as well. This way the school board will see that it is not just the students who want personal finance to be required, but also that parents want their students to be educated in the subject as well. Finally, let's recap on what we discussed today. Students should be required to take a financial literacy class in high school or college. Today, we discussed the need for requiring students to take a financial literacy class, how you can help by advocating the need, the benefits of having students take a financial literacy class, and the next steps to take to get involved. The number of people in debt today is astronomical. Many times the reason people get so far into debt is because they don't know how to properly handle their money. This is why requiring students to take a financial literacy class in high school or college is very important. If we were to require this, the number of people who were in debt would most likely